Hello and welcome to VendOp News, where I cover the weekly happenings in the supply chain and procurement market. My name is Jay Bartels, and let's just dive right in. Our first news today is from author Jonathan Foster at supplychainbrain.com. Global supply chain management has been at the forefront of the battle against COVID-19. Foster says that the following four trends have been accelerated by this pandemic. The first trend is the rise of automation. The logistics automation market reached over $49 billion in 2018. It is expected to almost double by 2024. E-commerce was already growing, but now it is an essential reality thanks to COVID-19. Automation helps to ensure a flexible supply chain that can meet consumer demands. The second trend in the supply chain sector revolves around product returns. Online purchases have become a huge problem because of the resulting returns. They are costing U.S. businesses $550 billion a year. And Amazon, even if with their soaring sales, is seeing profits fall by 29% due to purchase returns. Automation offers the best tool for analyzing and improving the returns market. The third major trend moving forward involves pressures on warehousing. Managers are dealing with capacity issues, inventory chaos, and changing consumer demands. Logistical advisor Simon Dixon says that consumption has increased, but some of the pressure for warehousing expansion is offset by the closing of many brick and mortar businesses. The fourth and final trend to pay attention to is the volatility of local and global freight. Massive restructuring will need to be implemented. Larger freight companies should come out fine, but smaller ones should be concerned. Our next news covers an interview with the head of supply chain at Vodafone Qatar. His name is Hicham, and he shares some valuable insight and experience. Nehme says that digitizing supply chains is particularly important for speed and reliability. The Vodafone supply chain, for example, has been proactive rather than reactive. They began their crisis planning back in December. Their first step was to identify 4 pillars to supply chain management, or SCM. These pillars are employees, customers, suppliers, and emergency planning. Using these 4 focus points, Vodafone built an entire end-to-end SCM strategy. Vodafone is one of the many companies affected by import complications from China. The current pandemic led them to generate scenarios for importing from the rest of the world. Data analysis along with blockchain and AI are expected to play big roles in the future forecasting. But Nehme also emphasizes the importance of strong partnerships. He says, and I quote, "If companies act like solo endeavors, they will fail," end quote. This has led Vodafone to reevaluate their suppliers based on how they respond to the crisis. And all of the data, analysis, and experience will help them adapt and prepare an even stronger SCM to survive the next crisis. Our final news today covers a report from Deloitte Canada. In it, researchers point out that many companies are not fully aware of their vulnerability. Their supply chains are not flexible enough to absorb global shocks, such as the current pandemic. Fortunately, Deloitte reports, new supply chain technologies are emerging. These new solutions improve visibility across end-to-end supply chains. Traditional linear supply chain models are just being left behind. In their place, we will see more digital supply networks, or commonly referred to as DSNs. These networks will incorporate the Internet of Things, AI, robotics, and 5G technologies. In the meantime, Deloitte highlights a few short-term actions for companies experiencing disruptions from the pandemic. Many companies rely heavily on China for raw material or finished products. In fact, 200 of the Fortune Global 500 firms have offices in Wuhan. This is a highly industrialized Chinese province and also the hardest hit in the outbreak. Companies that rely on China or any other impacted country should focus on their Tier 1 supply risk. In addition to their Tier 1, companies should be illuminating their extended supply network. This information needs to be analyzed to activate alternative supply resources. It's also important to evaluate alternative outbound logistics options and conduct global scenario planning. For more details and steps to take, check out the Deloitte report. Thank you for watching VendOp News. Again, my name is Jay Bartels. I'm the CEO of VendOp. At VendOp, we manage the performance of vendors and suppliers and save companies millions per year. If you would like to join a panel discussion with other industry leaders, reach out to me via LinkedIn or email me at j@vendop.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch.